Hi, Amu.
Hello.
How you doing, Dudu Zile?
Doing well, man. How are you?
All good, dog. All good.
Uh, um, so this is where we learn how to do. Wait, this is a whole different app. I saw the instructions. It seems like a different app I've never seen before.
Yes, pretty much is.
All right. Oh, thank you. Oh, sorry.
You guys see the PDF?
Yes, I saw it. Yes, and
But can you see it now? The one that I'm scrolling on the shared screen.
yes, I can see your share screen.
Okay, cool. If I play this augmented reality video, can you hear the audio?
Yes, yes.
So how many people are generally in this class? Hello? Anyone? Is it like 10, 12, 20? Just a rough number, nothing too specific.
Tired of cold comp?
But either way, let's just say in about 5 minutes, we should start. But for now, I'm just gonna go through one or two augmented reality examples while we wait, so you guys can just watch me set that up. How you doing, Pavna? How you doing, Zara?
Hi, Miles. How are you?
What's happening? You guys are good?
Yes, thank
Of course,
you. Thank you.
of course, you guys would be here, and everybody else would either be late or not be here. Standard procedure. It's just the way things go. They never change. The diligent students stay diligent, and there is good chill. Okay, so do you guys know about augmented reality at all? As the diligent students, anyone? Go out, guys. I will
Kind
always
of.
ask it.
Michelle showed us some example. I think she showed us Polaxis.
Whole access, yes. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay. Let's do Snapchat. Is it seemingly are we doing it for maybe just the three of you guys, and the rest are maybe just gonna catch the recording? That's what it looks like. Oh, okay, there's waiting room. Darren. Even I'm in the waiting room. Let's see that. Who is this? Who is using a computer of mine? Hmm.
Recording in progress.
Hey, hi, Milikaya. Who's on the thing is Milikaya? Hello. Hello.
I'm using the Mac. Maybe
Who's using the Mac?
Amu is actually.
Yeah. Okay, not echoing though. I'm talking about the person who's logged in as Milikai.
No, this is admin.
Okay, one of your computers has to be switched off because it's echoing. Maybe mute yourself, Amo. Hi, Amo. Okay. All right, cool. Looks like things are working. Okay, looks like we have a solid class. I think we can start. Everybody else will have to catch it on the recorded side. Okay, cool. So what I've opened up here are a couple of windows just to explain augmented reality to you guys. You guys may have seen the augmented comics that use as examples. But something that will be a bit more familiar to you guys could be some of the apps that people have used with augmented reality. First one up is Pokemon Go. So basically, what augmented reality is the overlaying of the digital world in the physical space. So the physical space is the grass, it's the actual world that we're in, and the digital world is overlaid on top of that. And how it's shown is through your camera and your screen. And you can overlay different objects. Obviously, you can overlay 3D objects, and how they place themselves in this world is relative to the plane on the actual ground. So how your horizontal axis is on your phone or in that space that you are, that's how the object is going to orient itself. So how this one works is by geographic tagging. So every centimeter of geography in the world has a mathematical equation that is attached to it that allows app developers to create an augmented reality digital overlay that can work in that environment with the actual horizontal plane that is there. And the gyroscope inside your phone allows the image to sort of stay in the same place because that digital image is still separate to the real. So when you move your phone, something needs to recognize if you move 1 centimeter, if you move 2 centimeters and such. So the phone needs to have a gyroscope. Simple enough. Are we all on the same page with that? Just a little bit of understanding of Pokemon Go.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, Snapchat is another simpler version of augmented reality. It doesn't use geotagging, especially for the facial feature. What it uses is your face structure as a marker. So how your face is also structured and shaped also has its own mathematical equation that can be processed by a computer to figure out that, oh, okay, this is a face. So that's called facial recognition. So that's how your phone is able to open up and just know what your actual face looks like and not your sister's or even your twin's face. So all facial features almost create a thumbprint of that person's identity. So in that way, that thumbprint then gets used as a marker to put flowers on your face, to create a mask on your face that looks like the Joker, the Batman, a puppy, blushing, stars in your eyes and all of that. It's just because the computer can recognize where everything is. Therefore, your face just simply becomes a other examples of augmented reality within art. I mean, these are augmented reality glasses. These guys are in a circular space. So, for example, if you are doing digital art as just a elective, or it's not really your main core module, you're just doing it for the points, and maybe you are more towards theater or more towards interior design or any of the above. You can look into many ways to use augmented reality in the same way that you can use digital arts, animation, everything in a lot of industries that you might climb into. So as opposed to simply being a actor or actress, you can now be an actor or actress who understands digital art, also understands augmented reality. So if you're doing drama, for example, the stage set can be a marker that allows viewers that are in the audience to hold up their phones, and instead of them just recording you while you're acting, the background also starts to create part of an experience for the audience members. So that's where augmented reality can be used, which is pretty fun. Okay, so let's go into the augmented reality app that you guys are going to create. So now this is pretty simple. You guys are obviously working on animations. These animations can either be triggered, which is what Michelle is going to be lecturing you guys on, or like they can be triggered manually, basically, because both of these work with triggers, right? So they can be triggered manually by you clicking on it, and something happens to that animation. So, for example, you could have an animation of the digital art logo, and as you click on it, it then starts animating, as opposed to somebody who just clicks play and then that starts animating. Everything or everyone basically has that experience. The idea of the person having a little bit of control towards the playing element is something that's a little bit of a different experience for the person who's going to be enjoying your artwork. So we're talking about triggers, right? So Michelle is going to be talking about manual triggers, click triggers, plays. Now, in augmented reality, what triggers is the marker. The marker is the image. It's either the face, it's an artwork, or face, I said, or it's the geography where the phone is at that point in time, your GPS location. So something triggers the augmentation, something triggers the animation. And what we are working with here is possibly the simplest form of augmented reality, which is marker based. All the computer does, or all your camera does in your phone, recognizes the image or the marker, and then that becomes the trigger for the animation. Are we all on the same page?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Ladies, everyone, are we cool?
Yes. Yes.
I'm not here that everybody's here. I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. People are just out there, not really engaging in the work because we're really about to get into
cool.
stuff. Yeah, I'm fine with you. Zara, Pavna, Utuzile, you guys still here?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Sorry.
It'll work way faster if guys just like, say yes emphatically when I ask the first time. Trust me, because I will keep on asking. Okay, cool. So when you open up the PDF that I sent you guys, it opens up into a simple contents page. It has your general overview, which speaks of software overview. You need to download Android Studio download and for your registration. So let's dive deep into that. Um, Here I have just a simple diagram showing how augmented reality works. Here's your marker, which is the trigger, and it's simply a static image. So this static image can be a frame of your animation. It can be a brand logo. Um, the trigger can be anything, as I've shown. It can be a face. It can be a cylindrical object. It can be a lot of things. But for now, just simply working with the static image being the trigger or marker. Now, what processes the whole augmentation is your phone's reverse camera, and it's displayed on your phone's display screen, and it's shown as a 2D animation or it's shown as a 3D animation. Pretty simple. Right? I try to simplify it as much as possible because it does get a little bit complicated. Hi, Darren. I see your hand is up. Bro, you can interrupt me, guys. I don't mind. Just interrupt me. There's like 5 of you. So it's no stress.
So, someone is wanting to get in. They waiting
In the
for you
room.
to let them in.
Oh, yeah. Laura. Hi, Laura. Okay, cool. Hello, Laura.
Hello, sorry about that.
All good, so good. Okay, cool. So what I've just run through with the guys and everyone here is the different types of augmented reality, right? So if you let's put this thing down here. If you look at augmented reality for art, you find like pieces of art like this, where it's a static artwork and you simply scan it with your phone and then the augmentation pops up, which is either a 3D element or a 2D element that plays. So basically, I was also telling everyone about the different apps that have augmented reality, pretty much like Snapchat, and how Snapchat works is that it recognizes your face, and then your face becomes a marker, which then triggers either an animation or a 3D element, which is either an animation or 3D render itself. But the important thing to know is that there's a trigger, which is either your face, or in the case of Pokemon Go, it's a geographic trigger, which basically means at a certain point in the world, it recognizes that there should be an object, which is your Barboach Pokemon, and that is the trigger for that space. And that's basically the augmentation where it takes what is in the digital world and it overlays it onto the real world. A blend of traditional and that type of thing. But basically, it's the real world versus the digital world, and something has to trigger that. And in this case of Pokemon Go, it's a geographic trigger. In the case of Snapchat, it's the face that becomes a trigger, or your eyes, or your nose, where it then changes your face to be a mask, something from a movie of that sort. But your face is the trigger in that element, and here is the actual artwork that's the trigger, which then triggers the animation to pop up. Right. So then I went through, then it was just basically the content, the contents page, which is a general overview, software overview inside. This is a simple diagram just showing how augmented reality works. Here you have your static image, which is your trigger or your marker, because we're working with marker-based augmented reality. Your phone reverse camera is what processes the augmentation. It basically picks up the image and understands that this is linked to an animation that has to work on an app on your phone. And that animation is either 2D or 3D. And you basically see it on your phone, but you see it overlaid on the real world. That's where it really, that's where augmented reality becomes special, only because it really overlays itself onto the real world. So if there was a tree here, then this would animate and there would still be a tree. So as opposed to virtual reality where everything gets closed off and you can walk into walls or fall downstairs if you're wearing the headset, in augmented reality, everything that is in the world, you can still see it. And there's just digital items that are placed around you or placed in front of you, but it's not fully obstructing your view. It's not 100% immersive. Basically like how Pokemon Go is. Just trying to get you guys to understand augmented reality and how it works. And it's just so, everybody can be fluent in that understanding. Everybody's cool, right? Laura, I did ask everyone. So Laura, are you cool with that? Yep, it's best to answer, Laura, first. Hi, Laura.
I can hear you. Yes, I think it's really cool. I like the Snapchat thing and what triggers it.
Do you understand? I understand it's cool, but do you understand what augmented reality is all about? What it means?
Mhm.
The static image.
It needs something to trigger it in order to react.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Okay, cool. So here is your PDF that I sent you guys for the augmented reality app development instructions. Here I break down the softwares that you will require, the sizes of the softwares. So this is a gig. This is almost a gig. So there's about 2 gigs in software that you're going to be downloading. So it's best that you download on campus or, you definitely ask your parents. The software is also broken down into what it's going to be for. So Unity is going to be for building of the app, and it's going to be for the testing of the app. Euphoria is to create a development license, and it also has the online database for our triggers, right? So whether our trigger is an image or our trigger is a shape, whatnot, but it lives online. And the Android Studio is what communicates with the phone. Even though I have iPhone here, but we use Android Studio because it's the most popular. So here also you have your Android platform versions, basically installs whatever Android version you are working with. So if you, right, so when I click on the Unity download link, getting the software, click here to navigate to the Unity Hub versions download page or visit Unity 3D. Okay, cool. So we clicked on the link, Unity download archive, and here you download the latest Unity Hub. Click on download. I have already downloaded the software, but for the purpose of this, I will click. So as soon as I click download, for me, it won't download. Even though I tried to uninstall it, it just requires quite a bit to uninstall. But I don't think anybody will have any issues, installing Unity Hub. It's a very small package to download by itself. So if, for example, it's about like 200 and something kilobytes. It's basically a download helper, much like Autodesk's, download installer or download wizard. So it doesn't take up much space, but what it does is it allows you to download the Unity versions or modules that are going to allow you to basically start creating your full app. So once you've downloaded the Unity Hub, right? So this is the step that it's taking me down to. It's basically opening itself for the first time after I've downloaded it. So for example, if we go to the PowerPoint, it will show you here. So click on the latest Unity Hub download from the options, click Unity Hub. Hey Claire, how are you? Step three, away. Step 3 is where we install Unity Hub by double-clicking on the downloaded file and follow the easy installation wizard. Okay, so it is pretty easy. It's just not going to help. It's just right. So it's just not going to show the whole installation process now for me because I already have Unity. But once you open Unity Hub, this is what you see. Or rather, yeah, that is. Where you select at 4.1, you select the Android build and support. Okay, let me just get back to it. So I have, yeah, there you go. Add Unity version. So here it's asking the version type, which is Android build and support. You click on that because it'll automatically open up as it shows in your installation notes. After you've installed the Unity Hub, select Android build support and Vuforia augmented reality support as added modules. Now let's see if Vuforia augmented reality support is here. So augmented reality support isn't here. So let's not install this now. Rather, let's go to add and we find 2018. 2018 is the one that will have augmented reality support by Vuforia. So for me, it's already installed. I'll try just remove these. Just so I can show you guys how it actually comes up. So I've got both 2018s here already installed. Here's 2018 here, Unity 2018. So not to confuse you guys, we got the earliest model or the latest model, Unity 2021 from the Unity Hub. Small file to download, quick, and you installed it. Then once you installed it, double clicked on it to open it up or to install it first, and then it opens up. As it opens up to this window. In this window, it had Android build support selected, but there was no Vuforia augmented reality support because the latest versions just simply don't have it. So you close this window, as opposed to following steps 4.1. Don't follow those steps as yet because you can't, because Vuforia augmented reality support isn't there. And instead, you find the 2018 version, whichever 2018 you can find, whether it's 428F1 or 36F1, it's all good, right? So latest Unity Hub, but we're looking for 2018 so we can get our augmented reality. Once we click Unity 2018, so what I did here, not to like obviously keep going back in the steps, I removed 2018 that I installed yesterday. just so that I could show you guys the install process, which is also pretty simple. And then I click next. So the 2018 has Android build support selected, the same thing that we were supposed to install now. And it's got Vuforia augmented reality support also selected. If it isn't, find it and click it. You need these two to be working with augmented reality as it states, augmented reality and Android build support. Now, as I said earlier, we are building for Android. Android is the most popular app platform at the moment. Also, it's obviously the most popular in the lab. Most of the phones that we have provided for you guys are Android. The tablets are Android. Obviously, the Macs are iOS, but right now we're building an app for phones. So if we had iPhones instead of Androids, possibly we're choosing iOS build support. And the software that we would have downloaded would be, I think, AR Core, or basically the app development equivalent of Android. Okay, cool. Fourier, augmented. Guys, is everybody on the same page? So I can move on.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just one person. Sarah, Tutu,
Yes,
Darren.
yes.
Yes. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
on the
Android
same
build,
page.
same page. Very cool, guys. Very excited group of people. Why are you guys so excited? Anyways, so software is downloading and installing at the moment in time. Luckily, we already have a version of 2018, so we can continue working. But we don't need to work with that at the moment. So even with you, for example, you want to have a different version of 2018 installed, so you will have to wait for the download. So while you wait for the download to be completed, okay, installation completed, you can view the Unity version installs. This is what you will be looking for once it's completed and installed. Let's just look at it. Sorry about that. Yeah. There's nothing there at the moment, but that is where it'll pop up, same way that it's popped up in this module. Okay. You can view the Unity versions, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, go towards the Android Studio download. So we've begun downloading our Unity, and now we're downloading the Android Studio. And this is the last software that we download. As I did state, it's going to be about 2 gigs worth of download. This is 900 megabytes. This is about 1.1. Click on the Android Studio download button. Okay, cool. So it's either we click here or we visit this web address. So if this link doesn't work, then type this address in or you click this link. When you click on it, okay, once again, it just keeps. You can use your middle mouse button to basically or control click so that it doesn't open in the same page. Because if it does that, then your PDF has to start from the beginning, which is a little irritating. So if, for example, use your middle mouse button and you just click on it, it'll just open up the page differently. And then you click on download Android Studio using your normal left click. You read your user agreement as always. Your friend Android Studio user badge, dismiss. I have read and agreed the above terms and conditions. Of course I did. Download Android Studio for Windows. Now I already have downloaded it, but for the purposes of this podcast, we click save and we watch it download. 8 minutes left, depending on your internet speed. That's about a gig. 15 minutes. Okay, pause it because we're fine with that. Double click on the Android Studio downloaded file to start the installation wizard. Okay. So here are my downloaded files. Yesterday, I uninstalled and I downloaded Android Studio already, much like when doing a cooking show. This is already pre-prepared. Double click on it. You can open it up. Setup is loading. Sure, you guys are pretty familiar with installing software by now. Everything follows pretty much the same installation wizard. It'll ask you to read a few terms and conditions. It'll ask you where you want to save the directory. It'll welcome you, click next, choose what exactly you want to install, where you want to install it, shortcut stuff and menus, and then click on install. So I already have it installed, so I'm not going to install it, but you click on install. For example, if I go Android Studio is already installed because I was creating the apps this morning again. So if you guys do want to go through a full installation of these apps, because I did record myself reinstalling Android Studio and just doing everything a little bit more slowly, not basically pre-baking the cake and such, but just going through the motion of everything. I will leave a link in the description below. But I'll leave a link below and I'll send it through WhatsApp. Okay. So Android Studio, double click on Android Studio to start the installation wizard and complete it. You have Android Studio downloaded. I didn't write completed here, I didn't write finish. You just have to follow the installation wizard and complete the installation. Now we're getting the development key. Now you can look at a development key much like it's just a simple license, or it's the data or the Wi-Fi that allows you to work with, sending a message on WhatsApp. It's something that, unless you want to go really deep into it, you wouldn't really, want to find out the information behind it. You're just happy that it works, right? So that's what the development key is. Simply follow the instructions as you should, and everything will work. And where you find your developer registration is within Euphoria. So you click here to the developer registration. Again, I click directly. So I should try to do like a middle click, or let me just open the PDFs and something else. So should open up to it opens up to this page. You will go to register. I think they've changed their homepage. Generally, their homepage used to be more green, so like a whole lot of stuff. But no matter, you need to just register. That's all you care about. You don't need to download anything. You don't care about the library. You have to register. First name, last name, company can be really anything. Doesn't have to be company that exists. Select country of residence, South Africa. Your email address doesn't have to be UK's email address. As you can see, I use my Gmail to do a password thing, you confirm it. I am not a robot, neither are you. Agree to the terms, and you have to agree to both of these things for you to be able to create an account. So you have to be able to send your marketing content. It's required, right? And you have to do this. So I'm just going to log in automatically because we're old in this game. So this is where all my licenses are. You can name your licenses anything. As you can see, one of my favorite licenses was my AFG birth, and my story AR, all of that random stuff. My Monday night app key, my Sunday night key, just absolutely random. So get it developed. I want you guys to see how simple steps are so that they don't overwhelm you. You don't think, oh, I need to think up a cool name. Oh, what's my do? It's simple. I called one of them AFG, whatever. Another one I called Sunday night. This one I'm gonna call it 3 p.m. Right? Check in this box. I acknowledge that this license key is subject to terms and things such. So you don't really need to worry about this too much. I mean, unless you are going to start, developing apps for brands and companies and something that's larger than something that's just going to be marked by your lecturers and a few friends are going to see it. But basically, it only allows 100 markers. So you can only have about 100 pages or 100 images that you can link to your augmentation, and it can only be linked to, or only 1,000 users can access the link further. So it's almost like a bandwidth, almost like a website bandwidth. And this is obviously free. So this is a free package. There's obviously higher packages for if you are a company. And you confirm, call this license 3 p.m. or something, right? Confirm. So 3 p.m. or something has been created. Go back to my PDF to see what my next step is. After some time, you will do this pretty quickly. It should take no less than an hour for you to start developing that. Okay, cool. So you fill in your personal details and click register. Log in if the site doesn't automatically. Obviously, if you've been a creator before, yeah, you will be logged in automatically. Navigate to develop on the site menu. Click get development key. Okay, cool. That's Unity doing its thing. Unity's excited. Oh, we've arrived. Yeah, cool. So click on get development key. That's what we're gonna do now. Here's the stuff before oh, that's Sunday night. Too many things over there. Developer portal. Okay, so the PDF is here. Let's do this. Okay, cool. So we're getting the development key, and we are inside the developer portal. Close these. Get development key. So I'm getting a development key for 3 p.m. or something. Check this box. Confirm. Click on my 3 p.m. or something. And here's my license key. Okay. I get advanced camera, I get external camera, model targets, and the watermark is there by default. Plan type, develop. Okay, cool. That's all good. If you click on it, it gets copied to your clipboard. Now, you don't have to copy it now, but you can definitely leave this window open. You are going to need it minutes. So you've gotten your development key. It's good. Very simple step, this one. Here, name your license key. We named ours. Click on your development license. Click on the license script, right click and copy. Actually, just click on it and it copies itself. Now we're starting the app project. Are we all on the same page, guys? Am I going too fast? Am I going too slow? Am I too soft? Am I too loud? Hi, Tutuzile.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not completely sure of something. So I'm understanding that all we have three apps and they have different purposes. Now, I think for the first two I'm okay with. For this one, it's where it's the environment in which we are creating the augmented reality, right?
No. This is a registration. This is online registration.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, don't apologize. It's your, like, this is the first time anyone is actually meeting up with this app, right? So even me, the first time I met up with augmented reality or Euphoria, you're not gonna understand everything pretty much. So that much I understand. So, ask away. Don't be afraid to ask. This is the time to ask. Also, this is gonna help other students who are gonna watch the video and be like, oh, okay, cool. That's what I was also thinking. You know what I mean? So here, what we're doing here is we're simply linking your image and a trigger. So what this does is it just creates a script of sorts that allows these things to work well together. So I think Euphoria is the best. Others can be used, but I think Euphoria works best with Unity, and that's why we've basically created this workflow. But what's really going to be your app development is Unity. That's the software that was downloading in the background. This one with the 2018. This is where we're really going to create the app. This is simply image trigger storage, and it's just linking parts of your app together. It's linking your database to your trigger, and it's storing it online. So this is what Euphoria is all about. Simple online platform. It doesn't require any space on your computer. It's just there for you to register and get a development key. And then after that, you're going to create a database and you're going to put your image in there. Your image is going to be your frame, your logo, with an image that's going to be the trigger. Are we cool?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You sure?
Yes, I think I'm understanding. So the first app is the actual environment in which we are developing, and then the second app is wait, I saw something about Android.
Yeah, Android Studio. So what Android Studio does is Android Studio is also an app development platform for software, but we're not building using Android Studio right now. So, but what Android Studio is going to allow us is also going to give us the key that's going to allow Unity to communicate with Android phones, right? So we almost have to parse it, but we can create, it's almost like the oven, right? So we can create our cake using whatever, version or whatever ingredients we want to create it with, but we have to put it through the Android oven for it to be eaten by the Android people, in a sense, right? So this is what Android Studio is. It's just the oven that we're going to use to bake what we created using something else, using other ingredients, if that makes sense.
Oh, so if okay, I'm making an example. So it's making it compatible with Android. It's as if
Yes.
you're saying like we we use Unity to make the augmented reality, and then we use another platform to make it compatible with devices
Yes.
that the viewer is going to look at it through.
Yes.
That's what the second
100%.
app is doing.
100%.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. And then the third one, which is Euphoria, that's just another. It's just another link. It's like it's almost like the icing. It just puts everything together. You know what I mean? It just makes everything work together. So yeah. Okay, you'll see. Once I start explaining, once you start moving through it, you're gonna see the reasoning for Euphoria, and you're gonna see the reasoning for Android Studio as we go down. Just want to make sure that we're not gonna run out of time. Anyways, okay.
Thank you, sir.
So click on license key, right click and copy. Click on it only, and it's already copied. So this is already in my clip. What you call it? My copied items, ready to be pasted. I guess. Okay, cool. So in large fonts here, we have start the app project. Right here, we begin the actual app. So we moved away from green tabs. I've also color coded. So green stuff is usually Android and Euphoria, and then the black bars will speak of Unity, and this is us actually working on the app now. And as you will see, the app can work without the Android Studio element. It'll just work on the computer because we work with Windows and such and such. But Android will then allow us to send it to our phone. Okay. So inside the Unity Hub, click on Projects tab, click 2018. Cool. Let's see that. And click on Projects, click on New. Okay. I wanna, instead of clicking New there, let's click New down arrow and select 2018. Right. For example, if you do 2019, see, okay, it still shows, but it's not gonna have augmentation. I don't think it's gonna have augmentation. It's gonna have issues. I think I'll just put 2019 there because I was doing another app, but go for the one that you've recently downloaded, the one that we're speaking about, which will be 2018, possibly 436, because that's the latest one, and that's the one I downloaded this morning. Right? So we're going to be creating an app using that module. All right, I'm going to go through that step again. Unity, we're in projects. Say we were even here. This is the last place that you were because this is what you installed. And you simply click on projects, and you click on the drop arrow, and you click on 2018. And that will allow you to use the 2018 module to app. Now, once again, I'm going to use a very arbitrary name just to show you how easy all of this is so that you're not really afraid of the software. I'm going to call this an easy app, an easy AR app. Right? Location, users, becomes that's fine. So basically my location is my C drive main folder. That's just going to be the project folder. You can, as most softwares, they create their own project file paths. And, it's not like your app is going to become lost within your Windows files. You'll be able to export the app directly to where you want to save it when you finally export that APK. For those of you who know about app dev, APK is basically the extension name or suffix for Android apps. So when you upload an app to the Android store, you generally upload it as an APK. And what you install on your phone is also an APK. And for iOS, it's called SDK. And for those who don't know, that's IDK. I don't know. I'm so cool. Anyways. Okay, so Unity 2018 is open. And that's the beauty of Unity. Like I could have opened 2019, I could have opened 2018 for 28RF, whatever. But I've opened 36F1. So I could have as many types of Unities as I want. Obviously, they do take up some size right now. All three of these are taking about 3 gigs of my space on my computer. But that's all good. Let me go back to the PDF. But this is good. If you are here, it's looking good. Breathe. Be happy. Select 3D, change the project name, and click create. Okay, so 3D was already selected automatically because we're going to be working in the 3D space. It's the app that we create. Unity is also great for creating games, so you can do some interactive stuff. Unity is really good. So we've gone through the step, named it whatever name you really want to name. I mean, you obviously have names for your project. When you're creating a comic, you're creating an animation, you really thought deeply about it and you're really proud of it. So you want to obviously create great names for it. You want to create great names for your databases. You want to take it seriously, but I don't want people to sit too much on details that don't matter as much. You know, you really want to get the app out. You really want to test it out. You want to get it working. You want to do these processes as much as possible so that you can basically do this in your sleep and you can put out the best version of your app, or just put out one version. Like, oh, I finally did it. Cool, submit. Put it out, test it out, check it out. Be like, I wonder if I could do this. You know what I mean? So if you dwell too much on things like, I want to get my project name to be like, whatever, it's, it's going to take too much time. As much as this presentation is taking up a lot of time with me sort of explaining certain items. Whereas if you just move it, the Unity welcome splash should show up at this point, breathe, and the Unity interface opens up its default view. In the default view, we have the hierarchy, we have the scene panel, the inspector view or inspector panel, and the project panel, right? Great stuff. So if we go back to Unity, what I'm using here is Alt and Tab just to basically cycle through my windows. It's just a very quick way to cycle through. I think you can also do that if you have one screen. So basically, it'll allow you to view the PDF and work at the same time, very quickly at least. So what I'm talking about now is your interface. It's pretty simple. It's similar to a lot of interfaces that you've worked with. This is where your content is going to stay. This is something of a outline if you've worked with 3D, but it basically just outlines all the elements that are within your scene, within your app. Very quick way to basically find them. This is all your content. It's going to be your images. It's going to be your videos. The scene panel. This is where you manipulate items in the way that they will be manipulated within the 3D space, so you can see how things will look within a 3D plane. That makes sense. The inspect element, all your attributes, all your settings, such, those things will come up here. And then your main menu is up here. Okay. I will take your guys' silence as an emphatic yes. We are all on the same page. Miles, you may continue. Right, in your main menu, navigate to game object before your engine AR camera. In the next window, click import. Yeah. Game object before your engine AR camera. Import. Now, if you don't have that, if you don't have AR camera or Euphoria in your menu item, that means you didn't download 2018. Download a different version of 2018, but you're not working within a augmented reality app. You just may be working within a 3D app that can create other things, but not augmented reality. Okay. So the next step is I'm going to delete the main camera. Boom, delete. Why? Because we already have a camera, so augmented reality camera. Press my Alt Tab to go back to the PDF. So continuing from step 3.1, we've imported our augmented reality camera by navigating to game object for your AR camera. Now your interface has changed to reflect added and selected content. AR camera. AR camera now appears in the hierarchy and the scene panel. You also have a folder with the Euphoria assets in the project panel. Attribute settings have populated the inspector panel and such and such. So if we go back to it, click on AR, you can see here there's a Euphoria folder within your project panel. In the inspector panel, there's these items here, basically settings for your AR camera. Click out of it, nothing is there. Click on it again, these items appear. And there's an AR camera also, right? Let's go on. Now we're adding our image target. Main camera, delete. Yes, we've done that. Right click on main camera, hierarchy, delete the main camera because we already have a camera. Click on game object in the main menu and navigate for it in image and click import on the window. Simple enough. What are we trying to do? We're trying to import a image onto our, sorry, from here, Fourier engine image. So we're trying to import an image onto our plane. This image is going to work as a marker. So just continuing back to the simple steps so that we're looking for a marker and the marker has to be triggered, or the marker is the trigger. Camera processes that image, and we also need something of a digital nature. So this represents what's going to be in the physical. Right? It's an image of an astronaut. This is a default image that Euphoria comes with within Unity, and that's all good. So we've imported image is there. So I zoomed in just to get closer, but the camera is always in front, it's always there. That's your light object, just to show you, the general scene light. So just not to confuse you, press Alt and scrub much like on Maya. All right. Default image selected by Unity displayed on your image pane. To zoom in, scroll up in your mouse wheel. Okay, cool. On your main menu, navigate to project settings, player XR settings. Okay, cool. Project settings. So it's menu, edits. In the main menu, it's actually edit, not just project settings. It's edit project settings. There must be project settings in the previous. But to find project settings, simply go to edit on your main menu, as opposed to trying to find project settings up here, which is what I described, which is my fault. So once you are in project settings, navigate to player and then XR settings. Okay. Let's go back. Okay. So the project settings might appear floating, which is what originally when I reinstalled the software was. And so I just dragged it and I put it here, much like you would with any other software from Adobe. So inside project settings, maybe it's on audio. You will click on player. You will then scroll down to XR settings. In XR settings, you want to enable Fourier augmented reality supported. Cool stuff. That's what we want to do. Checking the box and close the window. It's fine. You don't have to close the window. You can close it if it's fleeting, but it's just good to have it somewhere out there. Fine. On your inspector panel, navigate to image target behavior and click on add target. So add target won't appear unless you obviously click on image target. Let's see if I put that in there. On your inspector panel, navigate to image target behavior. Click on add target. So in that PDF, I assumed that have image target still selected. If not, click on image target, and then add target. But if you made all those settings from project settings in terms of enabling Euphoria augmented reality support, if you enable this and it was clicked, it might take a little bit of another step for the add target to appear, basically for it to refresh itself to populate the idea that, oh, and I'm doing 40 things here, right? So you click out of it, click into another element, click back into the target, and just check that it's here. Right? I've had that issue before where I left it on here, I go and enable, and then add target just isn't appearing, and you don't know what to do because the PDF assumes that you'll be able to add target. It's standard procedure. But anyway, so when you have that issue and there's nothing else, just try clicking out and then clicking back to the image target. And then click add target. So as soon as you click on add target, your internet browser will open a new window for the Euphoria tracking registration page. And that is what happens to us, right? This opened up, image targets to add an image, register as a Euphoria developer, license key, import your project, learn more. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. You already registered. So let's see if I can click here. But in a sense, you should just go to developers portal, 3 p.m. or something. Target manager. Okay, cool. So in your licenses, that's still there, 3 p.m. or something, whatever you want to name it, really, because all you really need from there is that key that's inside here. Cool. So the key is fine. From here, you click on target manager. You don't have to go through your key, your license though. You don't have to click on your license target manager. As long as you are on develop, you click on target manager, and as long as you're obviously logged in and you've created your license already, it's one of the first things that should be there. Then you go to your target manager. The target is going to be your marker, what is going to start or trigger the augmentation. Then we add database. Database name. Let's try a little harder now. Let's be a little bit more creative. Let's call the database something cool. Oh no, there can't be a space. No worries. My database name is something cool. Type is device, and we create. Click into my something cool database. See that there are no targets. Let's go back to the PDF. See what the PDF says. Okay, cool. So we clicked on add target, opened up Euphoria. It was all over the place, but at the end, we logged in, we registered already, and created a license. We don't need to create a license anymore. Now we go into target. Basically, license, target, develop two things. In Euphoria, done your license, now we're doing the target. That's what this is. Cool. So we've logged in, and Euphoria image tracking registration page. That's the page that I'm on there now. You can leave that for a minute and go back to Unity. Step 8 on your hierarchy panel, click on AR camera. And then step 9 on your inspector panel, open Euphoria engine configuration. Okay. So I've just left this chilling, open, haven't added a target. I'm not gonna add it yet. just going to move on with Unity for now. But just thankful that I'm managing to move on to more steps. Okay, cool. So AR camera, clicked onto it and want to open the Euphoria engine config. Boom. Open the Euphoria engine config. Done that. With the Euphoria configuration open on your inspector panel, paste the code license that you copied from Euphoria, paste the license key in space provided, and click on add license. Ah, yes, finally we get to paste. Because I mean, it's been copied for such a long time. Legend, wait for it. There. So license is added and it pushes itself again to Euphoria, which is fine. As soon as you click on license, it'll come up to Euphoria because it does want you to just almost start the next steps with ease. Right. So yeah, added license. That's cool. You will be redirected back to the Euphoria site. Navigate to develop target manager, add database. Okay, cool. Added database. And it's something cool. Step 12, name a database, make the type device, and create the database that will hold your images. Boom. We did that. Link image target. You will be redirected back to your target manager. Click on new created database and click add target. Now I ran through these steps quite quickly earlier. I mean, I created something cool database. And then I was redirected to this page again. And from this page, I clicked on something cool. And then it's basically here now that I have to click on add target. We're going to be working with a single image. As you can see, already it starts to show what types of triggers can be recognized by Euphoria using your phone camera. So it can be a cube, it can be a cylinder, it can be a deep object. But for now, for the purposes of this podcast, let's just stick to a single image. Right. Choose your image. I will choose the Digger logo. With okay, so I choose 0.5, which is about 50 centimeters. One is about 100 centimeters, yeah. So 0.5, that's the size okay, it explains it here before I start tweaking nonsense. Enter the width of your target in scene units. The size of the target should be on the same scale as augmented content. So you want, for example, if I want to augment a huge alien, maybe I want it to be large to a point where you can't see the whole thing on my phone. But because we augmenting something small, something that's going to be read in a book, something that's going to be on a card or whatever, you want something that's going to fit within the general distance that a person will be away from their book, if you know what I mean. So something that is a meter wide, you really won't be able to see everything if you're only about 20 or 30 centimeters away from the object that is being used as a target or a trigger. So that's why 0.5, it's 50 centimeters, but just bigger than a ruler. So the augmentation works well. So it's up to you. This is why I say get through this as quickly as possible so that you can have different iterations of the app. You can test it out and be like, okay, cool, you know what? I want to make it bigger, I want to make it larger, I want to try this, I try that. Okay, cool. So I'll go for 0.5, single image. My image over there. Don't really have to rename it. It's all add. Uploading target. Okay, only got 1 star. Oh my god. So, you know, initially I was like, especially this morning, for example, okay, when I first did this project, I think I got high stars because it was like a black and white image. And then this was the second time that I went 4 stars. And then now 1 star. Sad, you know, but it doesn't matter. I tested it out, it still works, right? But what this means is that it just it speaks of how well your camera can recognize that image, right? And I think the issue here is just a bit of grayscale, and it sort of blends into the background because your camera will, only recognize in alphas, and yeah, it's alphas and something else. But it needs those high contrast points. So if you have like a full black and white, like a QR code, like a QR code is possibly one of the best types of, augmented reality images to use because it's high contrast. Nothing else looks similar to it. And what else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's why barcodes are the way they are. Barcodes are simple, high contrast because that laser needs to basically recognize it very quickly. So the camera, your phone needs to recognize the image very quickly. QR codes, you can use a QR code as an augmented reality marker as this person sort of is doing. But anyway, here we are with a 1 star valuation. Anyway, so we've uploaded our target image. Here it appears in my something cool database. Go back here. I think we are in line with the steps. 4 stars. Click on show features. I think here what I did was I just simply put my image through Photoshop and just up the contrast and whatnot. Because I mean it's the same logo. So there's no reason why it should be such a difference. I think with this one, I just uploaded the logo as is. Also, the quality of your image matters. So if you have like a slightly blurry image, it's just going to blend into each other when it goes into grayscale. Anyway. So now you repeat the image target, adding steps for more images. This is useful for multiple augmentations, such as an augmented reality comic book. Okay, cool. So what I'm talking about here is just adding more images. Let's close this, close that, close that. So you can add another target. You can add another single image target that's going to work with this database. All right. We're all still awake.
Yes, we are awake.
Yes, we are awake. Abna, we awake. Darren, Laura. Hi, Bhavna. Laura, Darren. Guys are gone.
Yeah, kind of. I'm following. I'm following. Thank you very much.
Follow.
I'll have to.
Okay, cool.
I'll have to definitely go. What do you call it?
No stress. Yeah, say you'll definitely have to
Go revisit the slides again, but I'm kind of following where you're going and the general direction.
Okay, cool. Nah, man. I mean, there's obviously just the uphill battle of it being the first time you going through this. So that's all it is, really, man. Like after you do it a couple of times, it becomes as boring as me naming my database something cool. You're like, you know what I mean? So don't stress about it. If like there's a little bit of not understanding at this moment in time. Step 17.1. Step 17. Navigate back to your database and click download database. Downloading something cool. Select Unity and click download, then navigate to the project folder and click save. I knew that. I was just doing it to see if the computer knew that. Download. Okay. Something cool database has been downloaded rather. Then you simply click on it because I mean this is Chrome or Advanced by Chrome, but you can go into the folder and double click on it, right? Or you can just single click it here and it will just sync, right? It will just start installing. So just do it the old way. Just double click on it because it's a Unity file. It's going to open Unity things are going to start flying around beautifully, and then it's going to select everything. If not, you know, select everything. So now you see your images there. It's been linked by Unity. It's linked to a Fourier database of something cool. .dat, .xml, whatever. No one really cares about this. Simply click import. Cool. Now, if you click on your image at this point in time after you've imported it, you should find something cool when you go and click on databases. There's something cool. Zoom out a little bit. Look at that. Beautiful logo design by none other than Dr. Yanni Bakreski. Cool stuff. Moving on. Ever so swiftly. Back to our presentation. Okay, so we downloaded our database on the Unity side of things, basically a Unity compatible database. That's how, right? It's almost like if you're downloading an image and you choose PNG versus JPEG or whatever, you know, it's just a file format that you're downloading your database in. So you can either just do it as Android Studio if you're just using Android Studio by itself, but now we use Unity, so that's why we choose Unity and click download, and then it just works with Unity, and that's what we're looking for. And we're looking for that logo when you're clicking on that database right there, that logo, the Unity logo, and you know you're in the right place. Navigate to your download file, and double click on the database, download it. Instex 17 should open up with Unity in the next window. Click import. Boom. Click import. Click on the image target in the scene panel. Yes, that image target in the scene panel. Click on the drop-down menu in the inspector panel for image target database and select your database. Boom. Database. Select your database. Something cool was mine. Then select your target image. Okay, cool. So within the select your target image section, whatever, there's only one image in the something cool database. So only one image is set for this, right? But if you have frames and you're doing a lot of stuff, you might have, you know, frame 1 or image 1 in the database, image 2, all the way up to image 11 and 12 and whatnot. So then you would select those accordingly to what you're working with right now. So obviously you'll be working with the first frame, so you'll be selecting the first image right here. Boom, done. And we're working. We're almost doing this app thing. Almost there, guys. Okay. Click on the drop-down menu for the image target, switch database, and switch image target if you have multiple image targets, as you should. I say as you should, that is if you are creating a comic book. This was designed for, you know, the idea that it was only going to be used for comic book augmentations in class. The target image has changed. Hold down Alt, left click and drag to change perspective camera view. Done that. So basically what that is just holding Alt, clicking, zooming, just to basically get it. Because yeah, it pops up like this. This is how you generally see it. So what that step is talking about is just simply, I like working in a way or space like I'm working on an actual table. It's just a whole lot easier, and I think I work faster in that way. Now it's time to add my footage. Inside the hierarchy panel, right click and navigate to 3D object quad. Simple enough. Let's see. Image target, 3D object quad. That's what it is. Oh, this whole time we've been going up to game object up there. But no, not this time. Make sure you get this right. This time we click on image target, 3D object, quad. Then a quad opens up. So this quad is what is going to play the augmented animation. We're just simply looking into this image. That's why it's now like a subcategory, or it's almost a child of the parent of image target. Anyway, keep explaining a lot of stuff. Now I'm going to rotate the y-axis by 90 degrees. Well, that was x-axis, sorry. I'm gonna rotate the x-axis by 90, and I'm gonna decrease the y-axis size by holding my mouse over the y until it turns into arrows. And then zooming in, just checking that I've got that nice. Doesn't really have to be super tight for now. You know, we really are in the testing phases of things. Then you can also select your scale tool here as you would in Maya and such, and then just drag it. So you can see your Y value changing over there. Okay, cool. One of my earphones is just gone. You guys can still hear me, right? Right.
Yes, sir.
Oh, well. Okay, cool. We go back to the PDF. PDF basically explains what I've just done with the quad, right? 3D object, quad, from image target, right click to open up a small menu, 3D object, quad. Took that quad, made it lie on the side by changing its x-axis rotation to 90, and then decreasing its y-axis scale to, you know, whatever's going to fit on that image. Okay? That's all I'm talking about here. So don't stress if I'm like really moving on, but you know, we're about to test the app. So let's go. Inside the inspector panel, click add component and type video player and click on video player. Cool. So what this quad is, it's a housing unit for the video player that's going to hold the video. That works. So, you know, we couldn't just take video and just add and throw it on here. You know, like it's Premiere Pro, you know, just having fun. It's things here, we're building apps here, you know. So the quad done, add component. I already had the video selected, always have video selected, but obviously you won't. You get the whole list. Type V, type I. Video right there. See if this gives. Nope. Video. Oh. Video player. So video player selected. Video clip is none. I want it to leave. Cool. Add component, all that. Inside the inspector panel, build a component sheet. Display, yes. Drag and drop your video inside the project panel. Let's do that. Yeah, that's my MP4. Take that, drag and drop it. 8 megabytes. It's good to have something that's small in size, because I think something that's larger is just going to take time for it to do everything on your app, because it's going to increase the size of your app, right? So if I had like a 1 gigabyte video, high resolution, what that I put in here, it's going to take time for me to import it, for it to be dropped in here. And then when I'm exporting my app to my phone, it's going to be a 1.5 gig type app in size. Who does that? You know? So try to keep your video sizes small, especially if you're going to be working with multiple videos, because everything is going to be housed on your app, meaning that's going to be housed on your phone. Click on play, or you can click, or once you drag the video in, simply just click on it, just check it out. Click on double click. I don't know why I tried that. But yeah, there's the video playing. Happy with it. I know that it plays. Yeah. You should also do that, because if it plays within Unity, that means it's going to play in the app, it's going to play on your phone, such and such. Well, there's a better chance. I use MP4 because some formats just don't play on Samsung. MP4 is, the best quality that will play on Samsung, so I use MP4. I think that's something we should possibly put in the next version of these moves. But that's all it is, really. Just making sure that the video plays. Whatever video it is, making sure it's a small size. So I would recommend maybe even, exporting half your animation, exporting the bit that you finished, whatever works for you, just so that you can test it out at a small size and get things done. Right click on your footage and project panel, just play and export the panel. That's cool. With the quad selected, drag and drop the footage in the video clip space in the inspection panel / component video player. That makes sense. With the component selected. Okay, cool. So that's what happened. You need to click and drag at the same time. Because if you just click, it's just going to select the video. So you need to trick it. Boom, drop it in there. No time to change. This is how I've learned it also. There is obviously other ways of getting it in there because the assets are already in there. You see. I don't know, that's just gonna play the video. But I don't know if there's nothing in here. If you click that little icon, items that are in your assets bar will just show up here. You can click on them and you can import it inside. So it's just that icon over there. Cool. So now we're working in. We've got the video in, we've got our image target in. Or we are on fire loop. It's been clicked. Now it's time to test. Oh my god. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Away. Okay. I just need to open up something that's just going to show the image on my side. But it is time to test the app. You guys sound tired. What's up? Too much studying and all of that stuff.
No, I don't think it's a tide. I think it's just that it's a new thing. So I'm also watching, trying to wrap my head around it, trying to remember as much as I can, because this is like insane.
No stress, no
Never-
stress.
Yeah.
That's all good. As long as you guys are also talking, man. I like communication. I like you guys to be on the tip of, hey man, this is an issue. This is what we need. What's the story here? And all of that. Like if I was a silent, I may as well go to sleep too, man, and just record a video and send it to you guys. You know what I mean? But if you guys are communicating, then we're moving forward. Then this video becomes a little bit more worthy, of all our times, really, because we all realize that we can just watch a video of Miles doing this. If we're not going to ask him questions, let's just watch a video with him in silence playing classical music. You know what I mean? So let's test this app out. See that? So I've got the digital art logo on my phone. Can you guys see everything?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then this is
Cool.
what happened. I mean, I could be using a piece of paper, but I don't have a piece of paper. And then it just disappears. And then it comes back. Why it disappears? Because the camera can't recognize the image, right? As soon as it recognizes the image, like, oh, okay, snap. That's what we gotta do. It does its thing. Is that cool? Do you guys think that's cool?
So cool.
It is very cool, right?
Yeah, wow, wow.
I hear sarcasm. But anyway, this is augmented reality, right? The app has
No,
been
it's not
created.
sarcasm.
Huh?
It's not sarcasm. It's for real. I'm
Sounded like
shocked.
sarcasm.
What is this?
Oh, snap.
But it was so beautiful because
That's on purpose with Jay Shetty. This class is sponsored by On Purpose with Jay Shetty. You know. So now you've tested your app. The app is great. It's working. Like, you could even, shut down your computer now. Like, sort it. You can go home, make yourself some coffee, simply relax. You've created an app. So, but now it's an app that works on your computer, which means it's still an application, still using the old methods of what an app is to something that is stuck on your computer. So now you need to move it to our phone. So, I mean, at this stage, we're good. Like, very few things can go wrong if you have an app. If you send, your lecturer this app, they will be able to view your augmentation and it will work. In a sense, you wouldn't even have to have a phone in reality, right? You could just send the APK to the lecturer. I'm just thinking aloud. I don't know
Oh,
what your lecturers have required of you guys, but excuse me, they might require you guys to test. Obviously, you need to test it. You must test it. Disregard the last 30 seconds of what I just said. You need a phone, you must test it before sending it to you. Okay. Darren, I think you were saying something.
sorry. My apologies for interrupting you. I have a kind of a dumb question, but can you like see that? Say for instance, you have like a 3D scene, right? Or let's say, just like a 3D. Let's just say scene. Can you see it like from different perspectives, or is it only one perspective?
Yeah, it's definitely you can walk around a 3D scene, though, guaranteed.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, man. So if this was a digital art logo created in 3D, so if I generated a 3D logo and
Yeah,
then I printed out digital art on the piece of paper, which is laid flat on a table,
yes.
the augmentation would pop up almost like a building writing digital art, and I would walk around because the camera still recognizes it, whether it's upside down, to the side,
Yeah.
all of that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Only time it
Yes,
won't
yeah.
recognize it is if it like starts slanting too much and just loses either light or loses that angle to recognize.
Wow. Okay, interesting. Okay. Nice, thank you.
That's the reaction I'm looking for. Just a simple wow, guys. Thank you so much, Darren. This is why I do. Thank you so much. Anyway, so click on play above the scene panel and hold up your image to your laptop camera to test out your app. Boom, we've done that. Got another image, navigate to your main menu, click game object, image. Okay, cool. So this is when you want to add multiple images. And you can simply do the same thing that you did with the game object for your image. That image gets placed directly on top of your last image. So that's what it will look like. on your second image. Obviously, this second image doesn't have a component on it, so it's not going to have that whiteness. That whiteness is that component which obviously links to the video, which creates that augmentation. And this image, as much as this specific image is linked to the database, but the same image is already linked to this video. So you'd obviously need a different frame to link a different video. Otherwise, your camera is just going to be hella confused because now it's basically trying to play two different videos from the same image. It'll just choose one. It'll choose, I don't know. Actually, I've never done that. That is something to test out. But besides me, talking too much, this is how you'd add your second image. Same process and steps that you've done from the image target, create a 3D object and quad. From that quad, make that quad lie down in 90 degrees, bring its size down, and now you have a quad that is the size of the image. The reason why I want to do the size of the image that it doesn't go all over the place. It's in the space that your camera is shooting. Okay, cool. We're not really doing that today, so I'm cool with that. Stick with this single one, single image target, single quad, back to the PDF. Click and drag X or Z arrows to move your image to its own space, right? Because it appears underneath the first image target. Change the image from the drop down to the second frame of your comic, for example. I told you about this. Obviously, within the target manager, we have multiple images, and within this database that we downloaded, we have our first frame, second frame, third frame, all the way up to the 12th frame, and that type of thing. So we have multiple images as opposed to simply just having the one image that we have here, right? Dig a long, or dig a logo long, a logo long. Oh, yeah. Right. So we repeat steps 29, 30, 31 to add another image, blah, blah, blah. Those are the steps to add another image for your frame. Okay, build. Now we're building an app. Return to AR camera in the hierarchy and the border configuration in the inspector panel. Change the values of the max simultaneous tracks to the amount of frames you have. So if the app, one means the app can only track one image. And that's what we're working with right now. We're working with one image, obviously with this app that I'm creating. But if you've got multiple frames, you're creating a comic, I'm gonna set these to 12. Max simultaneous tracker, 12, 12. Okay, cool. But let me just show you where that is inside your inspector. AR camera, because that is what's doing the tracking. Euphoria engine, because Euphoria is it's basically the oven. It's the oven that oils get baked in. And this is where we either change to 12, 12 tracked objects. And I mean, these are objects, these are images, but it's one. I'm okay. Because you're not, right now, we're not doing object tracking. So even if you are uploading a 3D object, but you're still using the image as your initial tracker, and the 3D object is just that's what's going to be inside of Euphoria. So for things like 3D, you'll see within the image adding targets, you can add a single image, and basically I'll create a different instructional for that, and how you would use a image target and connect it to a 3D element. But it's pretty much the same as you would here. So maximum simultaneous tracked images is 1. That can be fine, leave it at that, 1, and that's all good. License is already there. Let's go to our PDF. Come through, click play about screen panel, hold up your images to your laptop camera to test your app to edit images. Right. So this is obviously with the new scenes. you want to keep on testing out with your new scenes or your new images. Excuse me. On the main menu, click File, Save, Scene, New Project Application. That's fine. It's already saved, but let's do that. I just clicked Save, and it's saved as the default name that I created at the beginning, or actually saved as sample scene. So let's save as rather. So go into scenes, call it the easy app. Okay. In the main menu, click File, Build Setting. File, Build Setting. Ooh, this looks cool. Add open scenes. Inside the Build Settings menu, click Add Open Scenes. Make sure the scene has a check next to it. Okay. Add open scenes. The scene is the only scene that's open at this moment in time. I'll click on Android and I click Switch Pad. Compiling the script. That was if you can't read, so I had to just say that. Now it's doing Euphoria / textures / reptile.png. Moving on. Switch platform, we've done that. Click on player settings. Player settings will select the panel, change the company name, product name to the name of your comic book, for example. Cool. So you can even go back to your icon. 500 by 500 pixels. You can open up Photoshop, create an icon for the app. It would be great. It's just a nice little added feature. You don't have to. The name of your company also can really be anything. But if you're gonna upload the app to like the App Store, these things matter. You know, versioning, the name of your app, and whatnot, because those are the names that are going to appear on the Android store for your app. So now it's time to take things a little bit more seriously. Okay, so what did the settings say? Click on Play Settings. So yeah, also want to make sure AR call supported is set, but that's on the later step. It's fine. Call the company, the Monday company, because the Monday company really exists. That is fine. An easy AR app. Our version is the first version. Now to add the default icon, I'm going to navigate to my pictures. Simply going to drag this image to my assets resources folder. Boom, there it appears. Because that's the only way you can sort of import something into your app. You need to up, like, how can I put it? It's like Adobe Bridge, but not like Adobe Bridge. Basically, for something to go into your app in terms of coding or programming, it needs to go through your project panel. Constantly drag and drop the image right here. And if you click on select, only items that are in your assets resources are going to appear. So I've got all this other stuff in here. This is what I'm looking for. And that's going to be my icon. And that's all I really need. Right? Close that assets window. That's cool. Now, step 39, enable Euphoria augmented reality. It's under AR core. It's that one. That is enabled. All right. And then we go to step 4, scroll down, click on settings, change API compatibility or compatibility, whatever you want to call it. Change it to net standard 2.0. Other settings. There you go. API compatibility level, net standard 2.0. Net standard 2.0, mono, all of that. Everything is cool. Mono, yep. Android TV compatibility, unclicked, automatically unclicks your game to Android Studio. Okay. Click here to view the list of phones that are compatible with augmented reality apps. Okay, guys, while this window opens, who has a phone from campus, from UKZN, or can someone tell me what model the Xiaomi are? Xiaomi's. Xiaomi 9, Xiaomi MX9, Xiaomi. And all answer at the same time.
There's different versions.
No, dude, I bought those phones. I know there's one.
So mine is a Note 8, but I know that some of the other guys have different. I don't know, it was later. I think it's a Note 9, something like that. But they have different cameras and other stuff and space and everything. But they're roughly the same.
So yours is a Note 9.
So mine is a Note 8. Redmi Note 8.
MI Note 8. MI Note 8, right? Okay, so
yes, sir.
All right, cool. I must just check it out because I made sure that I get phones that are compatible with Android for these specific reasons. It would be very dumb of us to buy phones for the lab and then those phones don't, aren't compatible with augmented reality. Basically, AR Core, if you click on that, if you click here to view the list of phones that are compatible with AR apps, this is where you'll be able to view your phone's model and see if it's compatible with the app. Obviously, you can still create the app and test it out on a friend's app, someone else's app. There's also tablets, but that type of thing. But it is just best to, because how can I put it? You're going to be doing this a lot, so it's nice to have the device next to you continuously. So, yeah, you just want to have that sorted.
Sure. Redmi Note 8 different.
Yeah, just make sure. I mean, with Samsung, for example, my Samsung, it's the A31. It's there. It's on the list. Yeah, so I don't have to go through this list. You can go through it yourself and basically see if you are all good. You should be. If UK didn't bought you the phones, if I chose the phones for you, it should work. If there was any changes, we'll try and sort that out. Okay. But your phones that you got from UKZN should be on your other phones that anyone else buys. Huh? What?
They are there. I actually saw the Redmi Note 8 as you were browsing.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Perfect. Okay, cool. So then you go on your phone and you check out your Android phone version. Cool. Yeah, okay, cool. So once you know that your phone can accept augmented reality, now you need to choose the Android version that Android is going to recognize. So if we open up Android Studio by simply clicking on the Windows button on your computer and then typing and, the Android Studio should pop up. Boom, press enter. So I also recorded a video of me going through my phone, just basically finding the about and doing everything that is done on a phone that obviously I won't be able to do on this video. So I will also post up that video. It's also basically how I run through everything in real time and everything is shown. It's a bit slower and it's got classical music in the background, so it might help you out. Cool stuff. So once you have Android Studio opened up, click on More Actions and SDK Manager because that's what we're looking for. SDK Manager. Android SDK. So here it explains itself, but in short, these are all the versions of Android, you know, forever and ever that have ever been. And the ones that are ticked are the ones that I've installed on the Android Studio. So Android Studio is here, but not all the Androids, because you don't need all the Android versions from Android Studio. My phone is, I think it's 7. Yeah, my highest phone is 7. You could have an Android that's at 11, and you could download that one. You could have one that's 12, but that's why this step is important. The previous step of going through your phone and just making sure that the Android version is clearly listed. You know what version it is and all that, and then you come here and you make sure that. So yeah, even for 6, why it's installed is when I was doing an app for 6 and all of that, and at times you might find an app's not working. Maybe you want to just try and install a earlier version, like when you're really trying to push, trying to like, okay, what could be the issue? Let me maybe try an earlier version of SDK and see if it works. But generally, for the same year, for the same version, that's what you should install. And it doesn't matter if you have multiple ones installed. All it means that they will all be scripted into your app. So when your app gets turned into an APK, it's going to be able to work on Android 11, 7, 6, 4, and 4. Right? Okay, sorted. So my phone is 7, and that's set, and I press OK. So if my phone version wasn't here, say my phone was 8, Oreo. Click on Oreo, and I would have to either click on Apply. Nope, just click on Apply. I click on Apply, then it'll start installing 8 on Android Studio and on my Windows computer. Okay. The following components will be installed: sources for Android 27 version 1, SDK platform, blah 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 blah, 90p megabyte. Right. So I'm not gonna press OK because I don't need it. Cannot say setting, installation was cancelled. Yes, it's fine. And then it unclicks itself under the. It's fine. I just click OK and then close. Goodbye. Step 1, click on Configure SDK Manager. Did that. Choose the Android version that corresponds with your OS version. Step 2.2, click Apply and OK. Step 2.3, close Android Studio. I'm very tired. When I start doing Occupancy accents, I'm tired. Click Build and choose a location to save your app. Move the app to your mobile device in the same way that you transfer any other file from the computer. Install and run. On your Android phone, navigate to Settings, Security, Unknown Sources, and enable the option to allow the installation of applications from both trusted and unknown sources. You need to sort that out. Install the application by navigating to your phone's files and click on the APK. The size of your app is determined by the size of the footage. 114 megabytes, big file. Navigate to the installed app on your phone, open the app and scan images using your phone. Images can be printed and or viewed on screen. If you use the animation on your image on your phone, you have created your first AR app. And congratulations. Okay, so before my earphones run out, I can play a short video of me on my phone with the app. You guys can see that, right?
Yeah, we can see it.
Oh, my phone was 11. That's fine.
That was so off. That was so off from 7 to 11.
Yeah, that's true. Getting very old, my friend. So this was just me thinking that I was looking for my app, my download files, which it isn't in my download files. But yeah, it could be anywhere because I just dragged and dropped it onto my phone. You'll see there's a video obviously of me just dragging and dropping it into my connected phone. So I want to install it. Yes. So I've already done the settings here to basically allow any app to be installed. Play Protect tries to protect me once again because it's not from the App Store and the app is installed. And then as I open the app, the Unity splash opens up. I don't really need to send it because we're just testing an app out. I think I was just reading this for a minute. But that's what it looks like through my phone. And that's basically me scanning the same logo that's on the computers in the lab. It's the digital art logo that you find on all of the stuff. And I just animated the text space, the whole lot of stuff, just to play around with it. Okay. So there's another video of me recording my phone doing the augmented reality thing. All right, there it is. So you guys can basically see the augmentation in this, right?
Yes, very nice, very nice.
It's honestly, it's really better when you actually live in front of the augmentation and all of that. Otherwise, guys, that's pretty much it, eh? The only final steps, the only other thing was me just dragging and dropping the video into my phone. And now I'm playing a video of a video of a video. I don't know if you guys want to really see that. It's literally just dragging and dropping. So it's going through those steps. So yeah, just connected my phone and then it'll show up here in the corner now. Is the APK that's just been exported after I clicked on build. I'm just zooming in to make it bigger for the video. Phone's plugged in, computer's a bit slow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Show.
Level up.
Come on.
Yeah. So can you guys still hear me?
We can still hear you.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's me just dragging and dropping it into my phone. Now it's moving into Milikai's 831 Galaxy. Boom, bada bang. And we are done.
Wow, that was long.
It was very long, right? Yo, guys, it's been deep. So,
Yeah.
anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. I don't want to kill more of your guys' time. I see some people have disappeared, but yeah, shot for staying, guys, and good luck.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Cheers. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers, Bob. Cheers, Amu. Cheers, Tutuzile.
All right, bye, man.
See you.